Hello, guys and gals. Welcome to this brand new series called Let's Discuss. This is going to be a series where Jim and I will be talking about different stuff. And for this one, we're going to talk about the history of pro wrestling albums. Real quick, basically we agreed the only rule is it has to have come out on like a CD or a cassette or vinyl. No iTunes.
Right, correct.
So you're going to get a lot of these videos, and some you might like, others you might not.
And it is a history, so we are going, by when it's released as well.
Mm-hmm. So, with that said, let's discuss the wrestling album.
Here we go. It's the first one, and I do want to mention one thing really quick here is, because I'm sure this is going to be brought up many times, is there's no music on here. There's, it's just mostly a discussion of said albums, and the reason is because we have had, as on this page before, a problem with YouTube as far as them claiming like something was wrong and pulling videos down, and we never really get an answer. I even remember one time one of our staff members, Eric, had a video. I don't remember what it was about, but there was nothing different that he did on that one video that he didn't do every other video. Mm-hmm. So to be safe, that's why we're not playing anything in the background, and it's more of a discussion than it is a listen back to. Right. So I do want to point that, because I'm sure someone's going to ask, well, why don't you play a clip? That's why. Maybe in the future I'll feel more comfortable, but since we're just re-getting our relationship here on YouTube, don't want to push things. Last thing I want is for us to do videos here and then have them immediately taken down.
Exactly.
So let's start. Go ahead.
All right. So the wrestling album came out November 1985. And this was the biggest gamble that Vince McMahon ever made. Okay, maybe not, but still. This was very different, sort of ahead of its time. Because nowadays, especially during the Attitude Era and all that, you had albums coming out every year. But this was the first one. This was the one that started it all. And when you look at the cover of the whole cover, the album, Hulk Hogan's not in the studio because you got, and I'm taking a look at part of the picture, you got Junkyard Dog, you got Jimmy Hart, you got Hillbilly Jim, you got Randy Savage. Hulk Hogan's not in there. The only picture they have, and I saw this on the CD because I had the CD of it, is like this little box square with a picture of Hulk Hogan on the back of the album.
I would also like to point out that Howard Finkel's on here, and I'm not sure if he's on the CD. I remember Mean Gene being on there. I remember I'm looking at the picture myself now. I remember most of these people being on there. Howard Finkel, unless it was one of those click quotes that I missed from, and we'll talk about it, but I don't remember him being on here.
Yeah. So, we start the album with most of the wrestlers of the WWF singing Land of a Thousand Dances. If you don't know what that song is, go ask your parents. They will play you that song. So, the song, what I liked about this was that most of the wrestlers got a line or two lines.
Right. Agreed.
So, but it's funny at the same time because there are some parts where you can't understand what they are saying. I think like at the beginning, like the first line is, "You got to know how to party."
Well, my personal favorite line of that is I think it was Rowdy Piper where he goes, "Oh, you're such a yo-yo."
Yeah. Actually, my favorite line is towards the end. One of the hillbillies says, "Well, I don't speak well, but my pig talks a whole lot better."
I think the thing is with this first song, with the Land of a Thousand Dances, it just sounds like kind of cheesy, but like it's in a good way. Like there are things out there that to me are like so bad that they're funny, but then other things are like so bad it's bad. And trust me, when we go through the history of these wrestling albums, I'm sure I'll bring this up many times of different examples. But this one I liked. I liked that, like you said, that they had all the wrestlers on there. And, yeah, no, I did. I thought it was a good opening to really display who's, people that are going to be coming up on the album for those listening. Again, it's a CD. So, like, this wasn't, look under an album. It was the next track.
Right. Real quick, have you ever seen the music video?
I have not.
Guess who's not in the music video?
Howard Finkel?
Hulk Hogan.
No, he's not.
He's not in the music video.
There's a lot
I think
to talk
Finkel...
about with Hogan on this.
I know! This is so messed up. Like, why isn't Hulk Hogan doing a song? I mean, we'll get into, Hulk Hogan. He does have something later, but, why doesn't he have a line in this this song? Why isn't he in the music video? Roddy Piper's in it. Junkyard Dog's in it.
I think the other weird thing I have, and I'm going to bring this up now because it kind of carries throughout the entire album for those listening to it on CD, is the transitions are terrible. Meaning what happens is, like, they'll play Land of a Thousand Dances and whatnot, and you'll hear Vince McMahon and Jesse Ventura going, at each other like they're actually being announcers. Mm-hmm. But and what's Gene terrible Okerlund's is, there. And Gene Okerlund's there too, but what's terrible is I'm trying to think of the best way to say this so that people understand, because, like, what they're doing right now is so absurd, I don't think anyone could even relate to what they did in today's music, because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, for example, like the Junkyard Dog is the next track, okay?
Yeah.
Let's use this as a deal. They'll say something like, and here's the Junkyard Dog with Grab Them Cakes, but that's not the beginning of the track. So basically at the end of the track, if you have it on random, you might not hear the Junkyard Dog.
Exactly. Here's the Junkyard Dog with Grab Them Cakes.
To me.
Don't go mess with Country Boy.
Right, but it's so backwards that this format, which I don't think any wrestling album ever uses again, thankfully.
So,
you can't put this on random because you don't know what you're going to get. They'll tell you, next is Captain Lou Albano, and there's Real American.
Wow, Captain Lou has a gorgeous voice.
All right, so go to the next song.
Okay, so the next song is Grab Them Cakes.
Right.
Which is really the first good song of the album. Because you have, like, one or two good songs, and then you have, like, one or two great songs on here. This is one of the good ones. This could almost be in the great songs.
I thought it was just okay.
Well, I mean...
I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Guys, leave a comment. Is he getting ahead of himself, or am I misseeing things? Maybe you think Grab Them Cakes... If you like Grab Them Cakes, hit the like button.
And if you know what he means by Grab Them Cakes, hit the like button.
Right.
Okay, so after the song, we go into the transition. And and it's funny that you brought it up in the first one, or after the first one, because
album long. That's why I brought it up. It's all album long.
Because the next transition is great. Because me and Gene's like, hey, Jesse, there's a new artist out called Derringer. Have you heard of him? And I looked up Rick Derringer. That's who he's talking about. I looked up his discography. He was doing albums since the 1970s.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
How is he a new artist? So, they say the song is called Real American. And Jesse's like, yep, that's right. Dedicated to me. All American. Jesse Ventura. And he tells him that the song is for Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo.
Yep.
So, Jesse gets upset. And then they go right into the song. And this is, to a lot of fans, and I think I would say this myself, this is possibly the greatest wrestling theme song of all time. This possibly is.
And it could have gone to Barry Windham
and Mike Rotundo. But, so everybody's heard the song. I don't think I need to go any further. But,
yeah,
I do want to mention how that song has been used in pop culture since 1985.
All right.
And I'll make this quick. Real American was featured in the original broadcast of the episode Gumball Special of Jackass, which I have seen with that on. And it made that part funny because one of the guys had a mask on and he had his underwear, with the American flag. And he's like, I'm Mr. America. I am in Latvia. And, he spells it out and they're playing, the track. And he's like, I hear a lot of people talking bad about America. It's just weird. But recently they have changed. They replaced the song of Real American.
Okay.
So when you see the Gumball Special episode, it doesn't play Real American anymore, which pisses me off. If that pissed you off, hit the like button. So anyway, to continue, the song was used in an episode of Eastbound and Down as Kenny Powers' entrance song to his return to baseball, playing for a Mexican baseball team. I've seen that clip too. Now here's the weird one. The song is also featured on episode 20 of Team 4 Star's Dragon Ball Z Abridged as Goku's arrival to Namek music. So even anime is getting into it. And then finally, it was used in a comedic way in 2011 at the White House Correspondents' Dinner for President Obama.
I think that's the only one that I actually knew beforehand.
And I actually liked that. That was a funny part when Obama did use that song, but I didn't know about Dragon Ball Z. That's
great. I didn't know that either.
That's just too funny. I can't wait till we get like some movie from Russia.
I think it's almost as funny as thinking that everyone's beloved song could have been the theme song for Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo. And then after that, we had apparently a missed feud between Jimmy Hart and Rick Springfield.
I know.
Man, Jimmy Hart did not like Rick Springfield.
Well, I mean, Rick Springfield wanted Jesse's girl. I mean, what else could you say? But apparently we find out Jimmy Hart has a crush on Cyndi Lauper, or at least in this song. This is not his best one.
No, I would agree with that.
But, I mean, he's done a lot of music for wrestling. This is not his best one. So after that, we go back to the transition.
Right.
And they tell Jesse that Captain Lou's going to sing next. And Ventura's like, what do you mean he's going to sing? What is he going to do? Strum the rubber bands on his face? So, which he doesn't. So it starts off with Captain Lou and George the Animal Steel, mainly Captain Lou, describing the history of music, which is just the most bizarre thing on the whole album. Because it talks about how one of his ancestors started music, banging a rock, and it moved the neighbors away. More neighbors came, moved away, and it leads into the song Captain Lou, which I didn't realize till a couple years ago is actually a cover of a song called Captain Lou by the band NRBQ.
Okay.
And Captain Lou on this version sings the song. And George is there going, "Hey, you!" He's making his grunting sounds.
And
And
he's
then
an animal.
we find out that the song was produced by Mona Flambe, or as Jesse calls her, Mona Flamboyant produced that. Oh,
I mean, the only thing I would have to say, to be honest with you, this is probably my least favorite song on the thing. I did not enjoy it. I'm sorry.
I
Except
think
for the
I'd have to
Captain Lou
agree.
part, like where he goes Captain Lou. Well, that's pretty much where it ends.
Because I have the original version on my iPod, and it's really good. because the only time you hear Captain Lou is at the end when he's just being his crazy self.
Mm,
So, but I prefer the original than the cover here.
right.
Okay, so
Yeah,
after that,
we were talking about, that song that was fused for Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo. But the next track is all about arguably the biggest star in pro wrestling history.
mm-hmm. Yes, and it's the WWF All-Stars, which consists of nobody because they don't say their names.
Right.
And the song is called Hulk Hogan's Theme. And this is just, oh God, I guess you could call it somewhat of an instrumental.
Oh,
I
I would
don't really
definitely, because
know.
I think wasn't there only one word, and wasn't it like Hulk, Hulk, Hulk or something like
Yeah, that's basically it. And that song ends up getting used later on, because I actually have the videotapes of this, for the Hulk Hogan cartoon show
that? All right.
in the 80s. But then, this song, or the beat of it, was used for a song called Ravishing by this artist called Bonnie Tyler, who did a song called Total Eclipse of the Heart, Hero, just to name a couple.
Mhm.
The fact that I know three of her songs is just sad.
Well, I mean, who doesn't know Total Eclipse of the Heart, though?
That's true. That's the first one I heard of. But yeah, all you just hear is Hulk, Hulk, But still a fun, cheesy song, but
And
But
much better than that Real American song that Wyndham and Rotundo was.
oh my God, yeah, Hulk Hogan's Theme is going to be the biggest song ever. Now we go to the other really great song on this album, in my opinion.
Okay.
Roddy Piper, For Everybody. Well, there's a thing. The song, or the original version of the song, wasn't called For Everybody. The song was called F Everybody. Just add 3 more words to that F and you get what I mean. But because this is WWF in the mid-'80s and, they're targeting families, you got to change it up to For Everybody.
Yeah, F everybody. Add three letters. That's right, people. Fire. That's what he's talking about. For anyone that's under the age of 13, I guess that's what he's talking about.
But
This
no,
is okay. I mean, I don't think I'm all about as you. There is another song that I am all about, which we haven't gotten to yet.
right. But real quick, one part of the song that they changed, and I didn't know this. In that song, there's a line where it says, well, in the original it says to kiss my ass. In the WWF version, they changed it to kiss my trash. So, if you like kissing other people's trash, this is the song for you.
If you like the word that they changed it to kiss my trash, hit the like button. By the way, folks, I'm going to probably say that a lot of times for different on this project. Hit the like button because we do want you to hit the like button. It gives us a feel that you're liking what you're hearing and for us to be motivated to keep going.
Yes.
Although I probably would keep going, especially there's certain wrestling albums in the future. I can't wait to get to.
Mm-hmm. And there are some that I've never listened to, so it's going to be fun to listen.
There's probably not many for me. Maybe like one for me or two. But for the most part, yeah, there are some of those as well.
All right. So after Roddy Piper, we get to one of the great musical moments of all time. There's just so many that you could talk about. The Beatles on Ed Sullivan, Elton John singing at Princess Di's funeral. But those pale in comparison, and I'm being sarcastic about this, to Mean Gene Okerlund singing Tutti Frutti. Oh my gosh.
Well, it was better than his WrestleMania 1 performance.
Oh, poor Mean Gene. So he sings the song, And I like Jesse's comment after the song. He's like, "You and Little Richard have almost nothing in common."
Yeah, no, that was pretty good. The Tutti Frutti, if I can recall correctly, would be used by him eventually, like for something or other. Maybe even just recently when he's been coming back or whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would.
So I thought that's interesting that's survived all this years.
Yeah, how has that survived and not Hulk Hogan's theme?
Yeah. Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo's theme song, though, on the other hand, surviving and thriving, I would say.
Yes. Oh, gosh. All right, so now we're down to 2 songs left. Next one, if you are this could almost be the national anthem for rednecks. It sort of is for me, because I'm somewhat a redneck. Okay. You might not believe it, but I sort of am. Being from Maryland, down south. Hillbilly Jim with "Don't Go Messin' with a Country Boy."
This, I would say, is my favorite song of the
album.
And
it's such a fun song. You could just, and you don't even have to like country music. You listen to it. The words are just, like, the lyrics are so weird, but it's so fun to listen to.
Yeah, and it's very upbeat. Like, I don't know. I was all about this song.
Mm-hmm. Plus, Hillbilly Jim, he doesn't have that bad of a voice for singing. Although, if you really want to call it singing.
Right.
Who
had the better voice, Hillbilly Jim or Mean Gene?
Hillbilly Jim.
All right.
But yeah, this is just a fun song, and apparently Hillbilly Jim uses this for a show that he has on Sirius Radio.
Okay.
Which, I knew he had a radio show, but I wasn't sure if it was like FM, AM, or so it's on Sirius.
Mm-hmm.
So now we go to the last song of the album, the final one. Nikolai Volkov. Yes, Nikolai Volkov. He likes to sing a lot. Well, this time he does, and I found this out a long time ago, a cover of another song. And it's called Karamia. And, like, the sound is a little weird, especially, like, at the beginning where you hear that, like that.
That was a great impression. I thought I was listening to the album right there.
Yeah. But no, Nikolai's got a good voice.
Yeah, to me, this was an okay song. I don't feel like this should have been the last track on the album.
No.
If that makes any sense.
No way. Because after the song, Nikolai wants to sing the Russian national anthem, which he gets kicked out of. Then, to end the album, Jesse Ventura says that Mean Gene, and Vince should sing a duet. Okay, I guess he doesn't do numbers well. Because a duet is 2 people. There's 3 of them.
I didn't even catch that.
So Vince and Gene start talking about it, and they decide to leave, which gets Jesse very upset. And that's the end of the wrestling album.
Yeah, like I said, I just feel like they could have ended better.
Mm-hmm. They really could have.
So overall, what was your favorite song and what was your least favorite song?
My favorite song would probably be Real American, although For Everybody and Don't Go Messing with a Country Boy are real close.
Okay.
My least favorite is Captain Lou.
Yeah, definitely agree with you with the Captain Lou one, but my favorite is, like I said, definitely Hillbilly Jim, Don't Go Messing with a Country Boy, and obviously, the theme song for Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo, Real American. That's up there as well. And, all the other stuff was just like, okay, I wasn't a big fan of the Jimmy Hart song. All in all, I would just put this as an okay album. Like, there was 2 really great songs, but, I don't know. Do you agree or no?
Well, I think it's a okay to good album because you actually have 3 songs that end up getting used as like an entrance theme. You know, Grab Them Cakes, Real American, Don't Go Messing with a Country Boy.
Mm.
My big problem with the album, and I'm looking at it now as an adult, not as a kid being a teen, that's a fan of wrestling, is they did too many covers. I mean, like, okay, Land of a Thousand Dances. Okay, I understand that.
It was cool to get all the other wrestlers involved.
Yeah, that's all right. I can deal with that. But then you go into Captain Lou singing Captain Lou. And then you got Mean Gene doing Tutti Frutti. Then you got Nikolai Volkov doing Carry Me In. Then you got this. Then you got that. There were just too many covers.
Mm-hmm.
And, that one skit at the beginning of the Captain Lou song was just terrible.
Right. I mean, that's my other problem with this, that weird format, like we mentioned before, of let's introduce the next song on the track before that song comes on. I can't even think of any other music album that directly does that. I'm not talking just wrestling. I'm just talking in general now.
Yeah, I mean, like, unless it's a live album where the singer's talking to the audience, but that's different.
But you know what? Even then, don't sometimes they just cut it off to like maybe the crowd, and then they'll start up with the introduction at the beginning of the track? Like normal music albums.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what? I'd say this is an okay album, but if you're gonna really like keep it, it should be for the nostalgic purposes, especially for Real American and Don't Go Messing with a Country Boy.
Right. All right. I mean, I don't really have much anything else to say on that. It's just that I think it's okay.
Yeah, and hopefully the next album will be better than this one. Let's hope.
All right. Well, is that? I guess that concludes things here. Like I said, this was the pilot. For the future episodes, just stay tuned to the YouTube page and also visit sunsetflipshow.com, because in some cases you might get a update on when the next episode's coming out. And as always, leave a comment, because we'd love to hear, maybe you loved Captain Lou Albano's song, or maybe your favorite theme on this was the Hulk Hogan theme, not Real American, the Hulk Hogan theme that we talked about. I don't know. You tell us. Leave a comment, hit the like button, check out sunsetflipshow.com, and we'll catch you next time.